As you might be able to tell from the title, it's not looking too good. But I'm back. It's been quite a while since the last video. Again, it's just because there's not much to talk about. That's it really. But recently things have gotten pretty tough, so I just want to rant about it. Just to get it out of the way, physically I'm doing pretty fine. Working out 5 times a week, eating pretty healthy. Yeah, everything's good on that front, but up here, it's been rough. I want to talk about it. So for this whole thing to make sense, I'll need to introduce two characters into this plot. That's my life. Um, there's also a third minor one later on, but yeah, not that important right now. Yeah, let's start from the beginning. So as I mentioned in I think the first like depressing video I uploaded, um, me and my family migrated to Germany in 2004. Of course, I lived with my parents here in Germany, but that lasted for 3 years, from 2004 to 7, and then they separated. But in that 3 year time frame, my mom managed to make friends with a certain Russian or Russian adjacent woman. Let's just call her S for obvious reasons. Um, and I remember there was one time where I was still living with both of my parents, where S brought her two children with her and visited us. So those two children are a brother and a sister. I call them both J. Yeah, female and male J. Female one is not that important to this video, but yeah, the male one is. And yeah, I've met them when I was like 6, 5, 7, something around those ages. So I've known them for a long time. An important aspect in this whole scenario is there's a missing dad, as you might have noticed. It was only the mom and her two kids. The dad in question, I assume they were already separated at that time, but can't be certain. I was literally a toddler, so yeah. But the dad wasn't in the picture, and yeah, but it will be important. So that's all about them for now. Yeah, then my parents broke up in 2007, and I moved in with my mom to a tiny one-room apartment, and things were fine. But eventually, after a year or two, my mom introduced me to her new boyfriend, and yeah, as you might be able to guess, it is the dad of Jay, female and male, which was certainly an interesting choice on her side back then, but yeah, whatever. So they became a thing. I call the guy G, because that's his first letter. He lived in the same street as we do, and he owned a building. So after, I guess, half a year or something of them being together, we eventually moved in to one of the apartments in that building, the upper floor, and that's where we live till this day. We're on the upper floor, he's on the middle floor, and on the lower floor it's vacant, but there's a bit of a story, but doesn't matter, whatever. Of course, my mom and him brought their own children into this relationship, me and then J and J. And of course, because of this like closeness between the parents, I came into more contact with the siblings. Might as well mention that the sister is the same age as me, while the brother is 2 years younger. My relationship to them from that point onward has gotten a bit closer. I would play some video games with the brother. Yeah, we talked from time to time, but I would not say we were friends, really. It was very much like distant cousins, you know? Like, when you see each other, yeah, hi, what's up, how you doing? But it doesn't go any deeper than that. And yeah, that was my relationship. And from this point onward, let's just scratch female J out of the story. She's not relevant, so whenever I say J from now on, it's the brother who's 2 years younger than me. So yeah, for 2, 3 years, things remained that way. But then it happened where my mother got pregnant with my half brother, right? Who's also the half brother of Jay. So yeah, this cousin analogy I brought up earlier makes sense. What's important, at the time I was already 11 years old, right? It was in 2011 when my brother was born. And yeah, those that's the second main character that I have to introduce. It's Jay and my brother. At the time, I didn't have any particularly strong feelings towards having a brother, but as I was right about to enter puberty, that changed pretty dramatically. And it's all the like normal stuff you imagine, like, oh, he gets everything, he gets all the attention, all the like presents, everything, right? I was very much feeling ignored. Um, while I can look at it now as, yeah, a childish thing, at the time I was really hurt, to the point where I cut my brother out of my life entirely. We live together, he's right here, but we completely ignore each other. We don't talk, we don't look at each other when we come across each other. And yeah, basically, he's non existent in my world. From his perspective, I think he like fears me a bit. It's like because when he was like a toddler, he like saw me talk with my mom negatively about him, right? Like I can understand from his perspective. From my perspective, now of course, I can see why it was childish and stupid to like get all emotional back then. But and I could remedy that now, but I just don't care. Like, I'm antisocial as fuck. I don't care about having a brother. It's whatever to me. Somebody who cared about it a lot is Jay. Jay and my brother, who's also his brother, they are very close, and they always have been since I can remember. And like all of this, cutting him out of my life happened around like 2015, 16, when he was like 5, 6, no, maybe 4, something like that. And yeah, it remained that way till today. Um, so, bit of skip forward in time, around 2019, 2020, Jay, he was always living with his mom, as far as I know. I'm not sure, but I imagine. But he moved in with his dad, who lives below us, right? Remember? He moved in with him, and at the time, I thought not much of it. Like, okay, I guess we see each other more often now, but not really. Even though we both play video games, we both watch anime, it's just a me thing. I I just don't socialize. Um, so we were still not really close, but yeah, we would see each other every now and then, mainly because my brother lives here, right? So those two interact a lot. By extension, I would interact with Jay every now and then. So now, after all this build up, comes the first big like moment. So in 2023, I believe, Jay also was sick of living with his dad, and he moved in with his sister, female Jay, who already had her own apartment at the time. Again, I didn't think much of it. I was a hermit. I did not care what other people did. Then some time passed again until 2025, right? So pretty recent. My brother is 14 already, and one day I start noticing that he quite often puts on like these worker clothes and just goes outside, and I'm confused. Like, what is he doing? He's 14. I don't get it. And what he was doing is he was helping Jay move into his own apartment, like renovating the place. Right after 2 years of living with his sister, I guess he was sick of that as well and got his own apartment somehow. Even though he has an apprenticeship, so not much money, but I don't know. With this, we're finally hitting onto the main topic of the video, this feeling of being left behind. In the moment, I didn't think too much of it, like, okay, he lives like back on the same street as I did, right? It's like right next door where he lives now, but whatever. But somewhere, like in my stomach, it was like this slight uneasy feeling, but I didn't think too much about it. It was okay, whatever. But yeah, it was the first like instance of a pattern, basically. So then a few months later, the next instance this happened is so minor, it's so stupid, but my brother was skipping school, as he does very often. I don't care, but yeah, he does that. But even though he was doing that, he was going outside. I heard the door slammed. I'm like, I was a little curious, like, what is he doing? So I looked out of the window, and what I've seen really confused me. So he exited the house, and he went right to the left house next to us, and he had a key to the place, and he went in there. And this is like so weird to describe, and like what it basically felt like was because I had no idea like what is his connection to the place. I have no idea who the people there are, who that live there are. It's so weird to me. It felt like once again the people around me were like living, like moving on, doing their own separate things. It was really strange. It gave me this again this slight uneasy feeling in my stomach. Like I was just confused. Yeah, it's really stupid. I don't expect anyone to understand what I'm saying, relate even. It's just really strange. But yeah, then the next instance happens at the end, near the end of 2025. Um, very simple. Our shower head broke off. Right, shit was fucked. I don't know. I didn't care because the water still ran through the like shower hose, and yeah, I showered that way. Didn't really care. But after a few days, my brother himself, he somehow got a new shower head and like attached it. And once again, it is very stupid, but insecurities came up. Um, like, I, like I'm sure I could have done that too if I had one, but it's this weird feeling of like, yeah, like he is growing up faster than me, even though he's in the 14, 15. And yeah, once again, this this feeling of being left behind kicked in. It is stupid, believe me, I know. Now we reached a part of the story, which I kinda teased earlier on, um, about this minor character, this person who I basically have nothing to do with, but yeah, they're my neighbor, literally, the house on the right to us. There's a, well, at this point, it's a guy, right? He's 2 years younger than me, I think. I never talked to him, but I think so, based on like the years of living next to him and like context and stuff. Yeah, I think he's 2 years younger than me, so he is like the person here that this is about. So a few months ago, I was just playing my silly video games when I heard loud noise outside. So I look out the window. I saw this moving truck outside, which is being loaded by the guy, my neighbor, with his friends. I assume he's moving out, right? In his own apartment, and he had friends who helped him. And then he didn't like order a moving company. He like rented the truck because he drove it off himself, meaning he also has a license. Like again, this feeling of what am I doing with my life? Like, everyone is like advancing in life, and I'm just doing nothing. Yeah, he drove off, and I guess he lives on his own now. Yeah, that was the minor excursion, which I fit into the story. So the next event happened not too long ago. Um, so as I said, Jay now lives in his own apartment, but it's on the same street, right? It's literally a minute away on foot. Um, and he and my brother are close, right? So one day I hear my brother slamming doors, walking up and down the stairs. I'm like curious, like what is going on? I look out of my room and no, he's not there. So I look outside, out of the window, and he met up with Jay, and Jay had with him a measuring tape. I was confused, like what's going on? Um, Now this is important to the story. Right in front of us, the house right in front of us is like a decrepit, I imagine, abandoned building. I never saw anyone exit or leave that place. In over the decade I've lived here. So I see Jay and my brother walk up to that house and like taking measurements of like the windows and everything. And shortly after, they went back to the place with like a huge amount of keys and tried opening it, entering, which I didn't see working, but maybe did. I don't know. I didn't watch the entire time. And once again, this feeling kicked in. Like, he's younger than me, and like, is he actually going to like sort of real estate things? Like, I was completely blindsided. That was crazy to me. Um, yeah, that one really like knocked me off. Like, it was really weird. Um, I imagine it was easier since his dad has already been doing that, right? Like he owns this building we live in, and he owns another one. But yeah, that that was not great. And then the most recent event, um, yeah. So again, I hear noises in the floor, like every people running up and down, doors being slammed. I'm wondering what's going on. It's my brother, of course. He uh, was not to be seen, so I looked out the window and I saw him waiting next to his father's car. Uh, they do this like regularly, where they drive off on weekends to visit his grandparents. Like, it's nothing too unusual, right? So I see him waiting there. I'm like, oh, whatever. Then after a while, like 5 minutes or so, I look out of the window again, out of curiosity, and I see Jay walking up, which makes sense, right? He's gonna drive with them. It's his grandparents as well, and Jay has with him a girlfriend, I imagine. I haven't asked, but certainly looked like it. And yeah, as you might imagine, that is another like category, I guess, where I'm way behind, like with everything in life. And yeah, that's like the events which constantly like how to say, like, in my normal daily life, I feel like I'm fine, but like these events, like these minor inconsequential events, right? They're nothing noteworthy. Like, talking about them, I feel stupid. Like, why would you care? Why would anyone care? Why would I care? But unfortunately, I do, and like these tiny events are enough to like completely knock me out of it for at least a day. Like, at least my day is ruined. Most of the time, even more than a day, right? And I hate that. It's so frustrating. So to get deeper into it, um, this is gonna sound strange, but World War II, hear me out. After the end of World War II, Germany was, of course, occupied by many forces, but the most important one, of course, America. And with America came its culture, its values, and most importantly to this, the American dream. That dream became also the German dream. Um, Having a car, having a wife, kids, a house, a job, like all these things became the thing to work towards. And I remember ever since my preteens, I always said that, like, all of this stuff, I don't give a fuck about any of that. All of those things sound awful to me. I don't care. My mom always told me, you're young, you'll grow up, you'll change your opinion. Haven't yet. But that's the thing. Um, I have my own values, right? What I value, what's important to me. But the thing is, as a person, you grow up in a society, and society shapes you as well, not just you yourself. So, of course, I've been told my entire life, get a wife, get a car, get a house, get children, a job, right? Those are the things you have to work towards. And as much as I can say that I stand on my values, like, it would be foolish to say that like these things did not affect me. Of course they did. It's everywhere, right? Media, the parents, teacher, everyone tells you to work towards these things. So I always had this dissonance of my wants and values versus what the world wants from me. But what the world wants is also, as much as I hate it, kinda like a part of me. Like, I can't just ignore that. It didn't just wash over me, this society, right? Um, it's both a part of me, and it's contradicting and it's annoying. Like, for example, if you watch content creators, right? Eventually they'll upload a video or talk about it in a stream, the announcement. I'm getting married. My wedding is at that date. Having kids, right? And I'm always thinking to myself, oh, congrats to them, right? But then I catch myself immediately, wait, why are you saying that? Like, you don't value those things, do you? Like, if somebody were to tell me that I'm gonna be a dad suddenly, my reaction wouldn't be like joy or anything like that. It'd be more like, you know. So for the most part, I'm of course living by my values, but every now and then there are these moments, these feelings of, yeah, basically how the world wants me to react, to live, and it's really frustrating. But after years of living like that, eventually, of course, there came a point where I had to ask myself, these values that I've been telling myself that I hold to, are they actually my feelings? Or am I so deeply buried in this, like in this tiny cocoon of self-hatred, of self-pity, this shell that I built around myself? Am I just living in that and rejecting all these um, like traditional quote unquote values because they require things that are scary? For example, having a child, having a job, that's responsibility. Responsibility is one of those things which throughout my entire life I'm like that. Get it away from me. It's scary. Having a partner, having friends that requires you opening up, making yourself vulnerable. That's scary as well. Uh, right? Never done that. And the question is, am I just rejecting those things because they are scary? I also don't see a way out of this, out of my life. I'm so deeply set in my ways. Like soon, soon-ish, I'm gonna run out of money, so I'm gonna have to get a job. And this time I'll make sure it's a job that like a full-time thing where I can move out and live on my own. But I know, like at first thought, there's like hope, right? A big change. Maybe it's gonna be a catalyst for other changes as well. But I know myself. I'm gonna work a job I hate, 8 hours, the 9 to 5 grind. Not gonna talk to anybody. I'm gonna do the bare minimum of work, just sloppy dog shit, because I don't care about it. Like I don't care about anything really. I'll clock out, immediately rush home, just watch YouTube, play video games, whatever, and that's gonna be my life going forward. I hate saying that about myself, but I need someone to just like pluck me out of my life like that, fucking teleport me to some random country and force me into a new scenario, a new life. That is the only hope I see for myself. But yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. It is truly awful not even being certain of your own identity, of your own values. Because I have nobody else. I am the only person in my life. And if I can't even be comfortable with myself, if you would ask me what my perfect life would look like, infinite resources, infinite time, I could give you an answer, but I could not tell you to believe that answer.